Let me do your hair. Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. What happening? Hey. We guess what, Cheryl? We are 99 episodes and a mic ain't one. 99 episodes and a mic ain't one. What's happening, good people? How are you guys doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl Ladosha, right? AKA Key Lolo. That's right, coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio. And y'all know who we got over here. Y'all know I got to get I don't have my glow. I got to get back in the salon because I like when that little light beam comes off of it. That's right. Over here, we have the one, the only Cheryl Morrow, the hair oracle, is in the house. And it's going down. As you can see, she got the sun is shining. Look at that sun back there. It's plenty of light. Ooh, I'm jealous. It's a little chilly here in Cleveland. What's happening, good people? Again, welcome to America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. We're talking about the dumbest that people say about black hair. We are on our 99th episode, and tonight is a very interesting night because we're going to be talking about the role the mother plays in hair, but she's got one little small caveat, right? It's the internet, so I've got some pretty cool tips we believe that can help some parents out. Now, we know that March is Women's Month, so we're not saying that men are not responsible for or take part in their children's hair care, but this month is all about women. We'll get to dads on Father's Day in June, all right? Rashida's in the chat. She got a brag. Right? Rashida just came back from Negril. She was in Jamaica, man. And so she's like, we got sun and a 69. Boo. We need a boo thing. I don't want to give we need to get a sound check that says boo. But anywho, welcome again. This is our 99th episode, and we have a wonderful podcast helping moms with hair care in the digital age. We got the social media that's coming through. We got our homegirl, Lawana, is in the chat, so welcome. I told Lawana if she was not in the chat, I was just going to drive my car on over to her neighborhood and knock on the door. Hello, this is Kilolo. Yes, Lawana, we're going to need you to get into the chat right now or else. So what's up? We got LB is in the chat. So let's play our song as we wait for some more people to come on through so we can get into the topic. And we're talking about the lovely Rachel Evans, who is all about what? Sister, can you let Cheryl and I please do y'all hair? That's all we want to do, right, Cheryl?
All we want to do. That's all we want to do.
Hey, come on in. Cheryl got her do all this is like little bud. Look at that little hairstyle. Hey, yeah. Come on in. It's that time of the day. That's right. It's the dumbest that people say about black hair. Come on in, LinkedIn. We see you, LinkedIn. Come on. What's up, Facebook? Hey.
Very special.
I want to help you. Hey. your heart. Come on in. Hey. Hey. Come on, let us do your hair. Just come on in. Come on in. Grab your little H2O. And let me do your hair. I can do your hair every time. I'm going to hold you to that standard. Hey.
Survivor
of what you've been through. And struggles.
I want to get up and do my hand dance. You got to be from Cleveland about that one. Hey.
You'll be so very happy
if you will let me do it. Come on in, let us do your heart. And let me do your hand. The Lord knows your heart, Luana. Go ahead on and sing that song, girl. Hey. Ooh. Hey. Woo, woo. Here come the sexy saxophone. Yeah, remember those Impalas and those Cutlass Supremes and the 98? What y'all know about them 98 Oldsmobiles? The Buicks?
They don't know nothing.
They don't know about that. That's when we had some cars made out of steel. With the armrest in the center. Oh yeah, the bumper, and then it'll burn your thighs. Come on in, guys. We got 99 episodes. And a mic ain't one. Hey. And let me do your hair. Hey. What's happening? What's happening? We want to give it up to our lovely songstress. That is the one and only Miss lovely Rachel Evans. And by the way, remember, guys, if you love hair, you got a hair salon, a barbershop, maybe you just got to do your children's hair at home, then why don't you download this song, go over to Amazon Prime, and it's extremely affordable. And let's support Rachel Evans. And I know y'all tired of hearing Beyonce. This ain't Texas. Woo! Y'all probably tired of hearing Beyonce. This ain't Texas. Well, it's San Diego, California, and you can check out the lovely Miss Rachel Evans, and it is called Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. Okay, so check her out. I'm sure she has some more tunes out there, but for right now, we're just going to be promoting the one she's singing for us. All right, okay, all right. You said what you say, Cheryl?
That's wrong.
That's wrong. I know she got some more tunes out there, but she only gave us permission to bump this one. So, right. YouTube, they already don't show our stuff because they say we're not going to show your music around your podcast because you guys are playing Rachel Evans. We're like, we'll take that hit because we want to support Rachel Evans. So that's okay. Again, that's Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. And we are 99 episodes in. We have a wonderful, wonderful show tonight. And it's going to be about moms working with those children's hair in the digital age. So the question is, should I listen to social media? Do I listen to my mom, or should I? How do I get through my children's hair when you're bombarded by so much information, and parents just need to know, how do we navigate this? I did put together a cool little snippet, a little video that I made for us, and I'll play it so you guys can see what the podcast is looking like tonight. Here we go, Cheryl. What's a mama to do with all this hair tonight on our 99th episode? That's right, 99 episodes in, and tonight is all about the children's hair. What's mama to do with social media and kids who want everything under the sun when it comes to their hair? See you guys in the chat tonight at 6. All right, so they want everything. They want the boxer braids. They want the curtain, bang hairlines. They want weave. They want braids. They want to wear afro. Some children even want to cut it off. Like when I was a kid, I wanted my hair cut off because my mom had an afro, so I wanted me a cute little afro. How did you want your hair as a kid, Cheryl?
Anything that Mr. Morrow wanted to do to it, and of course,
Really?
my dad had to sneak and do our hair.
Oh, your dad had to sneak. Okay. In the chat, what hairstyle did you want as a kid? As Cheryl tells us, why did your dad have to sneak and do your hair?
Because my mother made him promise, with him being a mad scientist. She says, you can do anything to me, to my hair, but don't you touch my children.
Oh,
So
Gloria wasn't playing.
Even up into the last days, baby, he could not. He had to like sneak and ask me, let me do your sister's hair because I want to try something and I want to do this and I want to do that. He had to sneak.
Yeah, and he said, look, remember this? Nah. Now don't tell your mama I did this now, okay? Now y'all this we telling Mr. Morrows, okay? Now don't Cheryl. I got some ice cream for y'all. You and your little sister now. Come on, hold your head still now. Can you imagine having a dad?
Right. And when I would come back from New York to visit, the first thing she would do is to look at my hair like, let's see what you doing. She told me, now you a black woman with a certain kind of hair. You can't go in there in that beauty school, start coloring your hair because it ain't no average color. So don't come here with no green, no nothing.
Oh, she could
So
detect anything.
I was very restricted.
Oh, okay. All right, you was very okay. Well, my mother, my mom and dad was not together, so my dad did my hair, but my mother had the rule like, don't you let that thing do my daughter's hair. I'm like, I like my dad's girlfriend. She actually was my brother's. She was my brother's mother, and my mom did not want her doing my hair. I thought she did a pretty good job, but we just couldn't tell my mom. But anywho, my mom was like, "Don't you let her touch my baby's hair." I'm like, "Hey, in the chat, why are mothers like so like coveted over their daughter's hair? What's happening? Do we? Hold on, my boss is in the chat. Drop them L's. Come on, y'all. I hope you feel better, boss. I've been wanting to call you, but her wasn't peeling well. So y'all go ahead and drop them L's in the chat. I see you, Dewey. Happy is belated. I don't know if today was the weekend her birthday or today your birthday. Let me know. Okay. Sandra, what's happening? Rashida, and then of course Miss Ernisa. I see you in the chat. And then LB, that's right, Miss Lawana. Welcome. Oh, and Selena, what's happening? I see you, SAG, in the chat. So Dewey says she like a nice press and curl for church service on Sundays. So we only got press and curls on Easter. So
okay, now I know. Now
what?
I do.
What?
Dewey is right. My favorite hairstyle was when my grandmother would put in Shirley Temple curls for Easter.
Oh, that Shirley Temple curls was the bomb. I ain't go, hey, and you had them Bobby socks. Come on now, y'all. Do they still sell Bobby socks? Remember those? Anybody remember Bobby socks? The first person who drops, I remember Bobby socks in the chat. I'm gonna drop a bomb for you. Who remembers the Bobby socks? If you old school, you'll know what Bobby socks are. So don't tell them. Don't tell them what Bobby socks are. I'm with you, Sandra. This was actually, I don't have a lot of pictures of me growing up, but I was a cornrow queen. I thought I was Patrice Russian. I wish Chrissy was in the chat. You cannot tell me I was not Patrice Russian. Haven't you heard? I wanted all the peaches and herb bees. That's why I don't understand why they keep talking about It's a natural hair movement. Come on, guys. Yes,
Been
you wore
there.
two French braids until the afro came out. That was my style of choice. Because man, I'm telling you, I just wanted to be Patrice Russian more than anything in the whole world. Okay, Sandra says she remembers. Hold on, where she go? She says, "Oh, she remembers Bobby Socks." So you're gonna go ahead on, and you're gonna get the what? The Bob, because it is absolute 100% true. Wait a minute, where my Bob go? Here it go, right here. Here we go. There you go, Sandra. Sandra gets the Bob because she said, I remember those Bobby socks. Woo!
with,
Fire!
with the patent leather Mary Jane.
Oh, you went there, Cheryl. Come on now. And then your brothers, they had that polyester with that big, thick neck pad. They can eat them jelly beans. Jesus gonna get us when he resurrects. He coming for us, y'all. We better cut this out, all right? Oh wait, hold on. Deweese said she thought she was. I love it. I tell you, I love this podcast so much. Here we go. There you go, Deweese. On a good ship. Lollipop. You gotta be old school if you want. I did not like that dang on, because I'm gonna tell you right now. I didn't want no heat. Hey, that straightening comb, I was like this, look.
And wait a minute. That hair was straight for 2 weeks. Okay. That press and curl lasted.
It was so much grease on there, though. So much. Wait a minute. Look at what my boss put in the chat. Come on, we gotta give you a round of applause. Oh man, come on, boss. Did you go ahead? Did you do that there? Oh my God. She done broke out with the. Yo, if you wore Buster Brown shoes, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you one thing about your family. Hold on, boss. Boss, don't get upset. I know she's gonna be like, Ladosha, cut this out. Now, I ain't trying to be funny. Cheryl, I know everybody. What's up, Maria? Come on now. I ain't trying to be funny. But if you had on Buster Brown shoes, you know what you was, Cheryl? You was rich. Because them jokers was expensive. And I'm sorry, boss, I had to go there, but I'm telling you right now, if you had on an Easter dress with some Buster Brown, man, your family had some money, because Buster Brown had a little dog. Y'all remember Buster? I wonder, do they still make Buster Browns? I'm not quite sure. I'm telling you.
I don't know.
I don't know if they would. Look at Maria. Maria, all right, boss, you got us going with Buster Brown all day. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Sandra said them. Hey, she said them Easter curls was lasting her 3 whole weeks.
I mean, you had to wash it out. And my grandmother didn't do a lot of oil, but baby, that press.
Woo! I hated it. I hated that press and curl.
I enjoyed mine.
I didn't. I thought it was torture. Oh my God. I never wanted that. I wanted me an afro. I wanted to be like my mama. I wanted that afro show poo poo don't stink. So LinkedIn, I know y'all watching. So LinkedIn, let us know, what hairstyles did you like when you were a child? Because tonight the topic is all about parents and their hair and the digital age. They said it was coming. We didn't believe it was happening. And now parents just used to kind of call each other up on the phone and say, girl, what to do? Now they're right here on the social media platforms and they are trying to get some help. Hold on. We got Jonathan Butler, not the singer Jonathan Butler, but the holistic practitioner Jonathan Butler. And he said he too wore Buster Browns. You know what that means, Jonathan? You was rich too. Your mama and them must have been real rich, because we went down to that little shoe store, Jocks, and they had the little Buster Brown little display, and we thought, don't you get your ass off, get back over here, get back. I told you don't get in that store. Y'all know how y'all mother, why our parents would take us to them stores, Cheryl, and say, you bet not touch nothing in the store. I don't know why our parents did that, but anywho, that's how it went down. All right, Jonathan, I got you. You got to hit me up with your number to make sure I reach out to you. So there we have it. We are going to go. I got to do it one more time. I got to go ahead on because I'm not the only one. If you wore Buster Brown tennis shoes, that's how it went down. Okay. So it's almost that time of the year where hairstyles are really, really important and parents are just overwhelmed. So let's get into the topic tonight about you got social media, right? And parents have to do the hair. They're kind of overwhelmed. And so you have social media, even children as young as like 4 or 5, they can go on social media and look up hairstyle. You should see them in the hair salon. Like, I don't understand why they bring kids to the hair salon at that early. We can barely fit them in a bowl. So and I own the hair salon, I'm just saying, so we're going to start right there, so the first question is, you got the digital age, you have the hair salons, and then you have the home. Look, you got a little bedroom like mine's right here, at home. Your parents used to do hair, you sit on the floor. That's how it used to be back in the day, you know what I'm saying? But today you have many options. You can go online, you can go to the hair salon. So let's go ahead on. Our topic tonight is all about parenting, moms in particular, trying to do that hair in a digital age. So Cheryl, what's a good age? We gonna take it back, but let's go first. When should you bring your child to the hair salon, or should you do it at home? Because that's what they want to know. I can't do it, Cheryl. I got too many kids. I gotta go to work. Let's go there. And by the way, if you are in the chat, let us know how you feel. We're talking about that 3 to 6 years old. We're going to say 8, 3 to 8. Okay. Should that be done at home or in the hair salon? Okay. Everybody in the chat, let's get involved. What do you think? Cheryl's going to give her take on it. We want to know, do you think from ages 3 to 8, should they be at home taking care of their hair, or should they be in the salon? And we're gonna squeeze in that internet after we get the answer to that. Okay. So Cheryl, take it away.
This is just my little opinion.
That's okay. They like cell phones. Look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody got one. You know what I'm saying? Opinions are like cell phones. Everybody got one. Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh man.
It's hard. I know it's hard.
Right. Well, it's not that it's hard. I think most Black America, as a rule of thumb, do think 3 to 8 is a bit young, in my opinion. But only because I think the mother should set the child's appetite and palate for what beauty is before it gets to the commercialism of the salon. And so if you are placing the child into the commercialism of that, and let them also be exposed to YouTube University before they're in first grade, even at school, peer pressure is really difficult. So, my opinion, the mother should set precedent first.
Okay, so well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna get. Let me pull up my little thing now. Let me just go ahead on and give you a big round of applause, because in the chat, so far you pretty much got a unanimous. We should definitely be doing this with our children at home. We know it's obvious, like 2, and under, they can't fit in the chair. But you have parents now. But what about those parents who are like, I got 2 thumbs.
Absolutely.
I mean, my child's hair, like my hair was nothing like my mom's hair. And my mom would get on the phone and literally be calling people and asking them to help her with I have vivid memories of this. And, nobody could really help my mom, and my dad, I think my dad kind of navigated that a little bit. I didn't have a grandmother. She had passed away. And my mom had my brothers who had hair, but their hair was different from mine. So, what about those moms who have the two thumbs and they don't have a mom? And then you do have, children who don't have a mother, and then you got that the parents is black and white or vice versa, so
Absolutely.
how do we address that? Because they're like, I'm taking to the hair salon, you know what I'm saying?
Well, in my last 5 to 10 years, specialized in children.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I did was children. And the mother has to set the behavior. The mother has,
Meaning, come on, talk about that. Sit
yeah,
your little ass down, or
and she doesn't really. It's a bonding moment. She has to put her hands in the texture. She has to get to know. So when she actually does not have to have the technical skills, but what she does need to know, is her child tender? Is her scalp tender? Is she, what could she take and what can he take, and what happens at school and whatnot. So my whole thing is that, listen, parents, you don't have to stop being pressured to have styling skills, because you don't have to. But what you can do now that social media is so available, my thing is that you have a local salon, and there is some veterans in your community. And a person, I would probably shoot for someone who's 15 years or more, because they've seen a lot of textures. But you can also just bring your daughter in and ask them what would be the best style for this particular texture, how fast, how does it long it last, what can I do at night, and things of that nature, so she doesn't get any complexes. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing it right or easy. And it's a consultation. You don't necessarily have to. You can
pay for the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah, I think, and like I look at your hair and you look at my hair, right? And I love the fact that you wear your hair like however you want it, and I like the fact that you wear the braids, you keep it simple, you're not trying to slay and all that. We're not knocking those hairstyles, guys, but I'm going to use Cheryl's hair as an example because Laura Coates. I should have put the clip up. But during the whole relaxer fiasco, I'm gonna bring it back next week. As a matter of fact, it'll be Petty Franklin. And so she said, I wear my hair, the way this way, so my daughter can see how my hair looks naturally. Now, my mom wore her hair more like Cheryl's. She didn't have it that long, but it was in a little short afro. And she wasn't always trying to, make everything so slick and so tight. And I think that is something that I would like for you to speak to when you talk about going to the hair salon and getting that help. Because I think the whole, you got the BDBs, you got the hairline, and then you have, Cheryl's just got two braids. I'm looking at Ladosha's hair. It's straight, and I'm just gonna look so ugly, So help moms out with that. Your hair versus my hair.
Well, first of all,
hairstyle.
Right. You can't be into pressures, and you got to get your children up. Children know what they want to wear, most likely, and they also know what they want to do with their hair.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah. Your job is to guide that. To say, no, you're starting this Monday. I'll let you do that on Friday, because, shampoo days on Saturday or shampoo days on Sunday. You have to set the rules, but you also, mothers, which is very important, you also have to have the attitude and the disposition to be checked.
Meaning?
You have to, when someone tells you that you're doing something wrong, you have to say, okay, well, how do I do that? How do I do it better? Just be open, because some mothers are, they get a little triggered, and they get a little cagey, but mothers are styling their daughter's hair for 18 years and above. You're not styling their hair from 0 to 18. You
Right.
want to get them to be a young adult woman with their edges, with their hair, with their self-esteem, with the fullest amount of hair that they possibly can, so they can be able to have a great hair experience. That's your job. Your job is to be the vanguard and to guide. You don't necessarily have to be the best styler. And let me just say this. I wear my hair like this in the between times of just being able to teach and do other things that I do. But I have the hair to slay when I want it. And I don't have to make and hide things and overcompensate. And because Ladosha has her niche in what she wants to do, and she's so comfortable in her skin that it manifests in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I mean, people will come and they'll want they'll come to the hair salon with their children, and they have these elaborate. I'm talking about a hair salon is expensive. I'm not even about to try
right.
to. I own one. I'm just gonna keep it 100. And these children, like my mother used to tell me, Negro, Negro, you don't vote and you don't pay taxes. So you will not be running the whole hair thing, because that was her position. You have to earn your way into that hair salon. So I never went to a hair salon until I opened up my own business. That is 100% true.
Right.
Anybody who knows me can testify. I never even stepped a foot inside of a hair salon, but my mom's thing was that I needed to learn, how to manage the hair. But you have, in reality, Cheryl, you have the children who they're kind of running the parents. I do tell parents, I agree with you that you do have to have a compromise. If the child let the child pick the hairstyle, because if you give them the hairstyle that they like, they will manage it, versus you just like, I'm just going to put one ponytail in. Like, no, try to find a happy medium and give them choices where no matter which one they pick, you're going to be happy. Don't let your child select a hairstyle that's going to go into the pockets or it's unrealistic for you to keep up with. So if we look at your hairstyle, Cheryl, it's very realistic, but you'll have children that will swim, and they will say, well, what can I do with my child who swims? And we'll say, braid it up. And then they'll say, she doesn't like braids. But Ladosha just said give them something that they like. So help parents with that fine line between that what they like, and they have to be practical, because it could be playground, whatever. They play basketball, but they don't like braids or ponytails or whatever, or even pressing it out.
Slow. I would agree, but there's a slippery slope between I don't like it and understanding that your child is trying to be liked. And why does she not like something? Because she has not been in the job field. She has only been at school. So what are you competing about? Like what are you talking about? Like, why don't you like something? And there is peer pressure, and I understand, because Black girls get introduced to the length complex. Okay. And so that's why mothers have to be very vigilant on length complexes, because I don't want my daughter's self-esteem in a style. I want her self-esteem in choice, but I also want her to understand that it is my decision that trumps hers, because she's swimming, because I don't want it tangled, and I don't want to be fighting with you, and I don't want you to associate hair combing or hair fashioning or styling with pain. So I am trying to minimize. So there's a lot that you can talk to your young girls about. So when she'll say, okay, I understand. So you don't want me crying if so this is the swimming hairstyle. This is the active hairstyle. Now, when you want to look pretty on Friday and Saturday, just understand after all of that, it's a conversation. Children are very malleable. They're very agile. Mm-hmm. They will compromise, but it's the firmness.
Right. Right now,
So,
I think Live Work Clean. What's up? Welcome to the chat. She's saying the same. Like she loves your hair. She started keeping it simple and was the best thing that she ever did. And this is what we're saying to you parents. We know that style and all that is like really really important, but you do have to have that conversation. And at how early can they begin those
mm,
conversations about, but I don't like it. I no, mommy, no, grandma. Remember that?
right,
Grandma,
right,
don't
right,
get me, grandma. She's trying to kill me.
right.
Daddy, please come
Well,
save me, daddy.
right. And everybody basically has to be on board. I think fathers just try to keep the peace. You know, fathers keep the peace. They know generally, they're not gonna be there to kind of like, if you get in trouble. I'm not gonna be there to get you out sometimes. I don't know if you guys remember the Barack Obama when Sasha pulled the microphone away from Michelle because she wanted to talk to her daddy, and he was on the camera. And so she pulled it away from her mom, and Barack said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hey, yeah, don't do that, Sasha. I'm not there." And my grandmother was pretty much on board too. But when my mother's mother was the hairstylist, she actually was my dad's mentor, and so
Oh,
it was kind of, but firm women under back the mother. And so you have your little niece there, right?
right.
Right. And she did not quite have a reputation, and I'm proud to call her my niece too. But
Yeah,
she
she knows your auntie Cheryl, one hair, one follicle.
right. But she knew we had to have a conversation, and I had to, we talked about another experience and paradigm in the salon. Now she's fine. They're very pretty. All you gotta do is just tell them what's gonna happen and what's not gonna happen,
All
and
right, but
we'll be on
yeah.
board.
Okay, but now Sandra E, our virtual co-host, is in the chat saying you can help us change the narrative. Continue to be our partners because Cheryl's gonna show you what y'all can do right now to help change the narrative about parenting and hair. Show them, Cheryl. Watch this. Hey, show them again.
Let me find it.
Pampa me on, pampa me on.
All right, so now is a good time. Yes, thank you so much, Sandra, because I see those thumbs up and the heart buttons are going. Again, tonight we on our 99th episode. That's right, 99 episodes. But guess what? Mike ain't one. Okay, so we are talking about parenting and hair care, trying to get through. But let me show you a clip. I think this would kind of confuse parents because I hear you, Cheryl, and particularly adoptive parents.
Yes.
When parents adopt children, they don't want to hurt the child. They're kind of confused a little bit. Also, maybe biracial parents are like, I'm not quite kind of sure. They might be living in a small town and they just don't get it. So here's a clip that could be a little bit confusing, and I just kind of want you to help us discern: is this Afro confusion or is this Afrophobia? Here we go.
It will upset y'all that my hair's not shiny. Y'all will say it's not done. That it's probably dry because it's not shiny, so that means it's not moisturized. If it's not moisturized, it must mean it's brittle and breaking. It's none of those things, by the way. I have a matte surface texture. Which means no matter how much oil, cream, butter I load up into my hair, it's not going to make it look shiny.
Okay, so she has a matte surface. Yeah, I like the new lingo. You guys like that matte? So is that Afro confusion or is that Afrophobia? I'm not a fan of a child or a woman walking around with their hair like that, and I'm just gonna cut right through the chase because when you go to comb it, it's going to hurt very bad. Number one. Number two, you're definitely going to snatch out some hair because it's been matted. And Afro hair is just not, I mean, if you're going to wear that, you should pick it out into a wonderful fro just to preserve the integrity of the hair so you can have a pleasant experience. What we find is that when people allow the hair to go like that, male included, the hair becomes severely matted, and they're very frustrated with the hair, angry, also confused because they thought it was natural and something was just kind of liberated without so much pain. So I get you can wear your hair. I understand it, but take it away with Afrophobia, or is that Afro confusion?
Well, somebody taught her two things. Somebody taught her wrong. That's number one. And then she's in the middle of the natural hair care lingo, right? And so the lingo is confusing. And so I would say Afro confusion that breeds Afrophobia.
Ooh, hold on. Let me wait a minute, Charles. I gotta drop the bomb on. We needed another song. Remember Trouble Funk Express. Drop the bomb on what you gonna do. Drop the bomb. So I'm gonna go ahead on and drop the bomb on that. They don't know about that Trouble Funk Express. But anyhow, yeah, so Afro confusion that leads to walk. I want to just play it again because some people just popped in the chat and walk us back through how does her Afro confusion, and at what point is this person at Afrophobia with her explanation. Here we go again.
It will upset y'all that my hair's not shiny. Y'all will say it's not done, that it's probably dry because it's not shiny, so that means it's not moisturized. If it's not moisturized, it must mean it's brittle and breaking. It's none of those things, by the way. I have a matte surface texture. Which means no matter how much oil, cream, butter I load up into my hair, it's not going to make it look shiny.
Okay. So where does the Afro confusion turn into Afrophobia? Because it sounds very sophisticated. She got lit up. I'm going to be honest. I thought that was on TikTok, and they tore her apart. But anywho,
and I'm just curious before I start. They tore her up in terms of what?
That she just should not have her hair like that at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that most, when I at the Afro Hair Science Summit, right? When we started talking about, most Black people do not realize that curly hair grows like that. Curly hair grows into a mat. It grows into a tangle. Therein lies one of the oldest implements on the planet is called a what? Comb. So, but the comb also, from the African perspective, is not trying to get it to look a certain way. It is to combine all of what actually makes it matte, which is gravity, sunlight, the coil nature. A coil will grow into each other and create a mat. That is the nature of it. So we are taught that hair has to be straight, long, and flowy, and you can put your hand straight through it. That's what we are, and that creates Afrophobia. See, the misunderstanding of something creates the disdain for it, which creates all of the other phobias that I used to deal with in cosmetic trichology, which is, very psychologically driven. But you see her face. She's very unhappy.
Really?
She's very unhappy.
Wow. I did not. But I know you have more expertise than I, but I missed that. I kind of thought she was just kind of like, this is me, this is who I am. And I am definitely not one to try to tell anybody how to wear their hair, but I know that people will listen, and I put that in the chat, is that we have to be careful with that language like matte surface, and people will use that as an excuse, a justifiable one, to not do anything to the hair, because at some point you're going to have to comb it. And this is where the confusion conversation really comes in for a lot of parents, particularly those who adopt children, or they're not used to that texture, and they think, well, if I just leave it like that and just let her be, I mean, why can't we just love her and because this is how her hair is naturally. I mean, if she was white and her hair just grew out straight, nobody would say this is a straight surface and tease her. But because she
That's
has
not what
this,
you're saying.
mm,
She didn't say, she didn't mean matte surface. She said she meant matte surface as in matte makeup versus a glossy texture, which
oh,
actually reflects light, because she's talking about shine. She's not talking about anything else. So
hmm,
your hair under light, the reason why we can see it and the light is bouncing off of it is because the cuticles are going in one direction and it is in a straight style. So something going in one direction reflects, and something coiled going in many directions by her turn is a matte finish, which absorbs. A glossy finish, which what? Reflects.
reflects.
Her language, unfortunately, is not matching with her emotions.
Wow.
She doesn't, and that is what we need to do in the consultation. Because if I were to tell her that you have, first of all, you have your hair, you have so much hair on your head. It may be short from the cosmetic look of it, but it's when you comb it out, it's a lot there, but it sucks in light. If you want your hair to be shiny, but who told her shiny is akin to moisture, and moisture it means healthy. And so,
Wow.
you know, we just get down the road and we're so far, and that is what creates the Afrophobia. And
Right. Well, now we got some interesting comments in the chat. I would love for you to address them. It's particularly, I'm going to start with Lawana, and then I'm going to move down to Maria and Live Work Clean. She was taught to hate her hair, and now she's trying to love it. So again, to me, I definitely saw where she was at. I'm like, well, is she confused or does she have phobia? So let's work with Lawana, where she was taught to hate her hair. I cannot fathom that, but I do see that parents will say things that they don't. I don't think they mean for it to be you to hate your hair, but the interpretation is I was taught to hate my hair, and now she's trying to love it. So can we work? Because this could be a child statement and a parent statement.
absolutely,
Thank you, LB. Thank you so much.
absolutely. And the reason why it's not so much that she was taught to hate it, it's just not a lot in the marketplace in terms of upwardly mobileness, the light girl, the popular girl. There is not a lot in society that gives her an indication that she's important and she's beautiful. But didn't no one ever say to her, hate your hair? It's just that when there's not a lot in the commercialism of society and school and being liked and popular and being beautiful, when there's not a lot of indications for her texture, for her hair, then you get to the other psychological and social issues that you start being isolated, and then curly hair starts being the other. And we already know when we read the book of Doppelganger, the other is always ostracized because it's deemed no one wants to go around looking like that, even though that's your natural self. So the natural self begins to be Afrophobic.
Yeah. So let's a good segue. Who she says she can relate to Lawana. She says same here. Everyone told her it was thick and it was tough and it was hard to comb, and she had to relearn. I'm just pointing out the language. You got trying, and then you have relearn everything, and now she is in love with it. So let's walk through that because both had similar stories, and so
Absolutely.
let's go with that one.
Well, and let's just go into the natural hair care world today. Even though that maybe I don't know how old you are, but let's just say 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, right?
Right.
Thick and tough meant coarse. But now in the natural world, natural hair care world, our hair is fragile. So here again, we're not on the same page with reality of actually us learning what Afro textures can teach us how it should be defined scientifically, cosmetically, not socially, because we learned about being Black, learned our hair, learned what curly hair, to love curly hair or to love straight hair, and always have an opposite and have the opposition, which creates the confusion, right? And so now tough means a super relaxer. Tough means that you have to deal with it. Tough means that you have to control it. Tough means, but then on the other hand, guess what? Oh, but it's so fragile. You can't do anything with it. You can't come, it's prone to breakage. You know what I mean? We are never.
Yeah, you're right. But I didn't even. Sandra dropped. She said in the early days she was told that her hair was like Brillo. I didn't even make the connection that the hair went from tough and now it is considered fragile. That's wow. Well, let me just hold on. Let me just go on bomb on that one because hey, I mean that's why we're here, guys. This is why we are having these wonderful, wonderful conversations because Cheryl just dropped the bomb that somehow that language about our hair began to change. Now, what I want to do is a two-part thing. I want to play a clip of me reading my book, Curly Hair Adventures. To your point, we need to have something to help. Now, somebody wrote in the chat that their aunt helped them. I wrote Curly Hair Adventures to help parents kind of navigate, to kind of do what Cheryl is talking about with our language. And then I'm going to show a clip of a little girl actually living what I wrote in my book. So I'm just going to share this right quick. And it's just like the beginning. I'm not going to do the whole book, but just a little snippet here. Let me share this. All right, let's see. I think I got it. Let's go.
Where'd it go, Ladosha? It's not on.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second.
Oh, you over there watching it?
Hold on. Let me start all over.
Okay.
Hold up. Oh, I forgot I got to take these earbuds out. Hold on one second. Oh. I swear I'm going to get this technical stuff. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Right here. Here we go.
Not yet.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Let me show it now. Here we go.
Not yet. I can hear something, but I just can't see it. Nope. Nope.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here we go. I won't do that because it's not working. But in the story, she's saying that she shrugs her shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her mouth has a pout. And ooh, how it hurts to get my hair combed out. So here's a video of a little girl who's trying to do exactly that. And I can relate. And this is to the whole, it's difficult to manage. The hair is bad. So here's a little girl who's trying to do exactly what Rose was talking about.
Mix with water. This is a brush. This is some hair mixed with water. This is a brush. This is some hair. This is some hair clips. This is some comb.
Yeah. Let's try this here. Oh, I know what it is. My internet is like uberly slow. So anywho, so once it comes back up, I'll play. Let's see if it'll go. Now let's see if it'll do.
Mix with water. This is a brush. This is
My
some
internet's bugging.
hair.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So you have children who are trying to manage the hair. So at what age do we turn that over is where I'm going with this. When do we turn and get the child involved into actually we got boys who want locks, boys who want braids, girls who don't want their hair straightened out. Some girls do. At what age do parents actually turn or get the child involved? Maybe turnover is not a good thing, but at what age can they do this?
And let me say this, guys, and I know it's an unfair thing because I grew up in a house with Mr. Morrow. I totally get it. That's different. But I actually think that when the mother and the father and grandparents are comfortable with their own glossary terms, they're comfortable and they have an established relationship with a barber and a hairstylist. They've gotten completely educated themselves, and they have a day technique, school technique, church technique, going out technique, and a bed technique. When they've got maybe about 2 or 3 techniques down, then they are then going to walk the child through them, why they're doing it. And then all you have to do is kick back and never until I would probably say about 12 to 13, I wouldn't turn over combing. I wouldn't turn that over at all until physically they are able to section and take it and comb properly. I think that
now, but can you speak to the professionals? Because I know in our salon, this is a big struggle for us as hairstylists. I'm just being very transparent, guys, very transparent. When a parent will bring in a child that's like, let's say 8 to 10, and we will tell like the hair should be combed out because and the parent will scold the child for not having to comb the hair out. And then we have to kind of, finesse the mom that's a little bit unrealistic. So how do hairstylists work with that mom who's like, well, I told her to comb her hair out, and I don't. You need to comb your hair out.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like we began the podcast, a mother is in charge of how the girl's relationship with their hair. That's the first. If she has a misunderstanding, Afro confusion, then the mother is probably going to have and to hide her own inner shame because maybe someone did not teach her.
Okay.
But I will, but because you can also tell that there has not been any instruction because the center of the head, the apex, is usually the part that will break more because of bad techniques of combing and brushing. They will definitely know how to do this part and do this part, but they will get a little difficult right there in that middle, and it'll.
Who can relate? In the chat, who can relate to? You just can't get that top part combed out. Is it limited range of motion? Why would that be difficult for a child to actually get up in there and do that?
Because the mother has not taught the child how to section to make it easier to find out if she's left-handed versus if he or she is right-handed. And if they are able to, it's all muscle memory and it's all body language, and it's that it takes time to take their time and see. Let me just say this: I was the kind of hairstylist that did not really play with parents, and I was very serious with them because you're talking about how to get this girl to be 18 years old when she's going into the marketplaces. She's going to get a job. She's going to go to school. She is going into the marketplace, into the commercial marketplace. She has to compete with other races of women, and you have to make sure that you give her the best set of circumstances and maneuvers and techniques to be able to to look fabulous.
But is that superficial? Is that being superficial?
Well, it's going to prevent her from creating what we call Afrophobia moments, from her being in this internal dialogue and internal self-damaging talk and self-shame. Is going to prevent her. So now she can get fabulously dressed in 15 minutes because she knows how to prepare. She knows what to do, right? And
right.
I'm going to say something, and I really don't mean to offend anybody.
Okay, alert, alert, alert. This is a no offend alert. I repeat, alert, alert. This is the no offend alert.
But these are the moments that mothers have to protect our hair from needing protective hairstyles later in life.
Uh-oh. But those are styles. Those are, people call those protective hairstyles. Now the parents are even more confused.
Therein lies the problem. I agree. And so that is why I truly believe that every salon has a designated attending hairstylist that deals with consultations, especially with children. You dictate someone who has the most patience on your team, and they are going to deal with parent and child appointments, okay, and especially consultations. And I do not feel that it's the child's responsibility. I think it's the parent's response, or the guardian, or the adopted parent. Now, I have to say, now this is also going to be offensive, Black women.
Okay, offensive alert. Offensive alert. Hit that like button while you're at it. Offensive alert. Here we go, Cheryl.
Okay. Now, I have had more problems in repeating myself and violators of the things that I've said. White mothers come in and they do exactly what they're told. Black women are hard-headed. Black fathers do exactly what I say. That is consistent. Black women.
Okay, now.
It could be it could be for a reason. And I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just basically saying, in my experience in doing children, I have always had problems with Black mothers. I have never had problems with Black fathers and white mothers.
All right, let's see if I can get this video to play. Let's try it again.
Mix with water. This is a brush. This is some hair. This is some hair clips. This is some comb. How did I get this out in the ponytail that Mommy dyed? Man, no. They have too much hair. Can't get it.
Can anybody relate to that princess? She's got over almost 4 million likes. I can relate, and I'm going to tell you how much of an expert you are. You had no idea that I was going to show this video, and everything that you have described with children needing more guidance and learning how to do their hair, you were able to catch it right down to the middle. I'm like, I just got to give you like a super duper big round of applause, because that is what we are all about here. That process. If you don't have an aunt or an uncle or a mom to help you, this podcast is just one of many. But like Cheryl said, the salon could be a place, and you should definitely look out. I know our salon is one of those places, but there are so many throughout your community. You have to be very deliberate and watch out for all of the styles. So I just wanted to really commend you for really understanding that because parents are shamed. So let's get to that. What do parents do when people are like, walking up to a foster parent or adopted, "Ah, look at you with that kid's hair, shame on you." Or the mother is being teased, how you gonna have that kid and you don't know how to do your baby's hair? Or you married a black guy and you should have known, you should have been ready. So how do you help parents navigate? Because they're getting a lot of backlash for not knowing how, like my mom, oh boy, she caught it. I mean, you did the boys' hair, you can't do your own daughter's hair. So help parents who are gonna get teased for not, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And I do think that there is an innate reason why Black mothers are a little more uh, contrary about it, because their shame level is higher and deeper, and I do understand that. White mothers and biracial mothers do not. They really they use their shame in actually trying to go find out and find a reason, and it's a little more proactive. And Black fathers are definitely ain't having it. They're some to the point where they are taking the little girls. I've had them many times bring the girl themselves, because they know one thing: that's their little girl, and he wants her to be treated like a princess, and he does not want her to have a complex and to start connecting things that not necessarily, and all she has to do is be taught how to do it. And the little girl in the video started in the front, but that's gonna, wherever she starts first is probably what she will not have by the time she's 18.
Really now? Okay, guys, did you guys hear what Cheryl just said? So that's very interesting. And why would you say that? Like
Because she's gonna
now I'm learning, guys. I'm learning.
well, because she's gonna be hyper focused on it, because that's the only thing that she can probably, and then she probably most likely think that that is the center focal point. Nobody will kind of basically pay attention to anything else, and so she'll hyper focus on it and fixate on it, and that will probably be the thinnest portion of her hair by the time she gets 18, 19 to 21 years old, because that is going to be the epicenter of where her skills are, right? And so when she put water on it, you notice that it got shiny and it got all smooth. She is starting to be addicted to that. She thinks that her whole hair should be this wavy, shiny thing, and she's going to try to get the whole head. And then, of course, this hair in the center is not going to do that. And so she's going to have this dry patch, and she's not taught why things are the way they are and to do things the right way to counteract that part that, hair just can't go back. You're going to have to shift it this way and shift it that way and do other things. So you're going to have to style your hair, to the maturity of your scalp for a while. And that is not discussed. You don't cut boys' hair in the barbershop too early. And so we are just not leading as an industry to be able to help mothers understand. And you don't placate mothers. They are there. And I always start, before I start, do you love your daughter? Yes. Do you want her to have hair in her professional life? Yes. This is what I need you to do. Period. End of story. And don't bring her if you're not going to listen to me. I'm not playing with you, because I grew up, and my mother and parents and my father and everybody had my hair, actually, the beauty of women in a family is the family's covenant. Beauty is a indicator of how well the family's doing. And let me just make my point. If one day our beloved Michelle Obama woke up and was looking any kind of way on TV, believe me, there is something wrong. So a beauty of a woman shows the man, shows the family what they're doing wrong to themselves. And that's how important mothers are, because the word is nurture. Nurture means showing someone else how to be treated so they can teach other people how to treat them. that's a thing of beauty. That's what beauty is about.
Right. Well, let's take Lawana's. And I'm with you, Dewey. That's definitely a can I get a witness, an amen. But what about those families who don't quite know it like what you're saying, and they really think that the hair is just bad, as in Lawana's case, where she was told me things like this is a matter of fact. uh, I understand Cheryl with all her cosmetic trichology and all that, what have you, what not. But the truth of the matter is, you know how folks got ugly toes? You know what I'm saying, baby? You got ugly hair. So, and I think that's where she's going. And the grandmother just thought she was right, and that this hair is just bad, and no fancy terminology is going to help this child because this hair is bad, and we got to do something to this hair because it's bad. So, what about that? Because there is a belief that some hair is just it's just bad,
Right.
like
Well,
toes.
there's a bad energy on the other end of the comb, and that is your mothers or grandmothers or any other female on the other end of that comb. You have to understand she also has a deep sadness and a deep disvalue, and I'm not even going to even deal with self-esteem, but hair. When your mother advocates for your beauty process, she teaches you how to self-advocate. Self-advocate is different than self-care. Self-advocate means, excuse me, clean that comb. No, we don't do that. It makes you present to understand that you need to have personal standards in what you need to do and how to do it, and you require other people to do it. And you also have to understand the bad hair was not. It's not the fact that white people told you that and just said, "Psst, your hair is bad." That is a internal microaggression that Black people do to allow to get it out before someone else can say it, right? And so, yes, that is also when you talk about reparations, or you talk about even the reparations that we need to give to each other. Not even reparations from white folks. Reparations to me is one of the reasons why Mr. Morrow wrote 400 Years Without a Comb. He wrote it as a personal apology, and for us to have compassion to what we don't know. We don't have to beat each other up, and that is how shame is passed on from one other end of that comb. And it's a microaggression, but we have to talk about it because at the end of the day, words like Brillo Queen, nappy headed, and things like that, those are internal racist microaggressions we say to each other because that is how we're feeling inside. And that you have to understand too, Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better.
Now, could this be what the natural hair movement was trying to do? They're trying to help the Brillo Queen. They're trying to help. Can I get a witness? Yes, that was cruel. So, might that natural hair movement been trying to help all of those individuals who did not get what some of us had? Like I mean, I was teased, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't in my home. It was definitely by my peers because I was darker. They really gave me a hard time with my hair and my skin complexion. But in my home, I heard something totally different. So when I went out and was teased, it really, honestly, it didn't faze me at all. I was kind of confused, like, well, everybody here hurt when it comes out. I don't know what the problem is. But maybe could that, could that just be where you just have that, you know, no help, no support from people, and so you had that natural hair movement that said, well, we're going to help the Brillo Queens of the world, and we're going to create this natural hair movement. Maybe that's what they were trying to do, perhaps. I don't know.
No.
I was trying, guys. How many people in the chat? Let's just go ahead. We got the chat is pretty full. How many people in the chat says that natural hair movement helped them with their hair and how to style it? We get the whole liking part. We know it got you guys to like it, but did the natural hair movement help you understand what to do and not do to your hair? I thought maybe now that I'm hearing a little bit more, maybe that's what they were trying to do. And sure, you says that's bull fragger pagger knackle. Why would you say that, a hair oracle?
Let me just say this, and I will debate any scholar, any anthropologist, geneticist, culturalist, Afro-Pan-Africanist. I don't give a shit who you are. You got it wrong. And what you did was you created another version of nappy, which is called 4C. That's what you did. You just hid it under a hair type. And then when you said that, now the hair type of 4C has no more access to being shiny, to being soft, to being desirable than ever nappy ever did. But unlike your 1960 predecessor, you never embraced what your hair actually naturally does from birth. Comb it out and wear it. But you created curl definition. That is akin to biracial and white folks. That is racism at its best. Now, I'll give you an E for effort. All natural hair care, whoever you are, you know who you are. You're all the culturists, all the culture first, this, there, and that. That's why we got a bullshit ass Crown Act bill that doesn't work. White folks used it against you. It doesn't work because we do not get into the real dynamics of what Afro-canity and blackness is. You can't curl define it. You can't make 4C hair look like some golden, slick, soft, shiny ringlets. That's called hair that has been what? Biracial, and your parents are not what? Of African descent. Let's just say it the way it is.
Well, I guess you.
Your grandfather, your grandmother, your mama, and everybody's mama wore an afro. They picked it out and said, this is it. This is me. I'm patented. It was cut. It was fashioned. And we looked beautiful. And that's what we wore. We was not trying to get no milkshakes and salad dressing and all that other bullshit, trying to create some curls to make Afro hair do that what it don't do. So now that we have unbothered, because now we so tired.
Or what's it called? Matte surface texture.
Matte surface. All of that craziness. And all we have to do is get back to, because at the end of the day, you cannot take a natural hair movement to Africa, because we will have to have a conversation first. And they would ask, what are y'all talking about?
They do. They do ask that. Boy, the chat, wow, we got some wonderful responses. Did the natural hair movement help you understand how to style or navigate your hair? We have Dewey said, no, not really. Live Work Clean said they gave me dermatitis. Whoa, that's pretty. Wow, dermatitis. That's okay. Sandra E says, back in the days of the Afro, I learned what to do, how to appreciate my hair in its natural state. Today's natural movement creates division. These are some very powerful comments in the chat. Here's another one by Miss Sandra, our virtual co-host. She says, hair typing today is another form of hair disinformation that creates division. Might as well put me in the Brillo column. This is Jesus. This is probably
it's called texture profiling. Texture profiling. Let me see what textures you got. You got a 2. Okay, you can come in. Come on in. It's the same brown paper bag. What thinking? What were they thinking?
Really now? See, my brain does not even go like that. I'm just thinking they're totally like uneducated. Y'all know, just call me Mother Teresa. I just be believing everybody, y'all. I just
Natural
didn't
hair
see
care.
it like that.
I understand. Natural hair care movement is anti-chemical. That's all they are. And they took us back to the kitchen when George Washington Carver took us out of the kitchen and put us in the laboratory, and we went back in there, and then guess what they did? Natural hair care movement is known for two things: transferring the greatest transfer of wealth and power in Black hair care history, and giving you another word for nappy called 4C. And then gave you a definition and a system to texture profile. Now, I am not disliking people individually, but the movement collectively has to go back and examine themselves, because they are using terms that they don't even use anymore. Oh my God, they use heat now, they color their hair, and they getting licenses, and they want to be involved, and they want to get all of this. Hey, one big apology would be fine. Fuck, we got it wrong. We got it wrong because we were relying on African-American hair study professors. We was dependent on politicians, and they act like the people inside of cosmetology did not exist. So guess what? You got what you got.
So you're saying to parents, because a lot of parents are saying, I tried a lot of those things. I don't know if the parents would agree with everybody in the chat that it was not helpful, but a parent would say, I trusted a professor and I would trust an attorney. And I wish Kay Cantrell was in the chat, because she said, I don't. So how, because they were saying, well, the cosmetologists don't know. And so the professors and I think the attorneys kind of, maybe they felt like they were helping where we were not. Let me just say that for the sake of time.
Well, that's what happens when you leave legacy. That's what happens when you drop your inheritance. That's what happens when you don't pick up where the last generation took off. That's what happens when you go off on yourself and you say whatever. That's the same thing as, Black Lives Matter saying the Civil Rights Matter didn't matter. And then they chose the Black Power movement. Well, the Black Power movement failed as well. But the key here is to find out why, to find out the wonderful treasures that's in the mistakes, so we can ask the right questions, so we can get it right in today's generation, so they can know what to do. But if they're so when they're fragmented, they don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe the parents were duped. Could it be that parents, right, biracial parents, just everyday parents, attorneys, and the professors were just kind of sucked in to something that they really thought was had good momentum, and that they could somehow tame it and then kind of push it back out to help parents? Because a lot of people, when you're anti-chemical, that of course that made you anti-hair salon. So maybe they felt like they were providing something, like a backlash, to help those parents out, because it sounds like what you're saying, that it sounds exactly like you are saying that professors and attorneys were duped by this natural hair movement, as much as a mother who's watching this podcast and people in the chat saying it gave me dermatitis.
Well, here's the thing. I think that the opportunity to go in another direction is our version of what we say drinking the Kool-Aid. But I will say this, because they think that the predecessor generation that built the multi-billion-dollar industry itself, and Black folks lifted Black people from the plantations all the way to industrial titans, and generated the first millionaires in this country, and the pillars of Black America in terms of college education, the Negro League, the Portermans. We funded a lot. My thing is this: give us enough respect to ask what could be improved upon. Where are the bodies buried? Where should we start? It's just a dialogue, but it's called the natural hair care ego. You can't tell them nothing. They know every goddamn thing. So guess what? They will be known by the fruit they bared. A bullshit Crown Act, that boy cannot go to school down in Texas, and they use the law against him. That is what produces that ego, this arrogance that the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, that what the hell do you do? We were not only making industrial power moves, but we were also being in our communities. And if you didn't know, just come and ask. But don't create an other, and now that it doesn't work, you're coming back in. No, but your ass gonna come through that front door. You ain't coming through the back door. You were wrong. And that's why we need to get back on the same page, because I didn't have to make you wrong to exist. Cosmetology did not have to make the natural hair care wrong, but you did make cosmetology wrong. Does cosmetology have its issues and problems? Yes, but you don't even know where they are. So you can't critically talk about it. And if you can't critically talk about it, then you're going to continue to make the same mistakes. All we have to do is just say at the end of the day, that African-American studies PhD ego, that attorney and lawyer ego, and that political ego got us where we are today. And half of our wealth is in the hands of what we call VCs, accelerators, and incubators. Half those brands that you're talking about, that even Procter & Gamble, like Mael, you didn't have enough equity in the shit in the first place. And it wasn't junk anyway. And that, I'm not talking about, that's not my opinion. That is a professional expert theorem. That is not theory. You can tell by the fruit it bears.
Well, Marla Jones says, let them tell it. The predecessors don't know anything. And that's where parents, I think parents who are watching this, and I wish Esther was here in the chat. She does always come through after the live, but Esther talks about like that. And I think Esther and Dewey was in the chat saying, you and Ladosha are the only two people who are saying this. So when you look at Marla's statement that says, let them tell it, the predecessors don't know anything, you are having parents who are watching this probably post the live, and they're saying, we have never heard this before. I think cosmetologists, we all do know it to some degree. We may say it differently, but what do we say to those parents who are saying, this is the first I've ever heard of what you guys are saying? And again, help them navigate them to how they can get that help in their community.
Well, and I'm going to take the first responsibility, because I can be the first one to say, and I think me and you talk about it all the time, Ladosha, we are embarrassed. I am literally embarrassed every time I hear a younger person within the ages of maybe 18 to 30 say the most ignorant shit I've ever heard. And that's why the hell we named this show The Dumbest Shit That Even Black People Say About Black People's Hair. Not just people. Black people say about Black people's hair. And so I believe that there are many Theos. There's many Cheryls. There's many Ladoshas that want to be able to dialogue, just like we had Kay on Planet Pluto Pseudo. I think there is a lot of us that want to be able to create services that parents can walk in and that can email us, and some of them call me actually, and that have children with disorders and conditions, that we can take another approach. And if I recommend a dermatologist, I do sometimes, and if that's the case. But even if I can recommend even a hairstylist, I want those hands to be gentle enough to be able to style and get that child back on the road, and to work with the parents and to get them a great regimen. I think that there's hairstylists out there that would
Right. And let me just say this, because I'm actively working in the field, and this is to each and every parent. I don't care, like Cheryl said, if you're a foster parent, an adoptive parent, a godmother or auntie mommy or a titi ma or a papa, or a big ma, whatever your title is, and you're the decision maker over that child's head. I'm going to tell you first and foremost, when you're going online and you're looking for that type of assistance, you want to look at the person's hair. Look at look at Cheryl. Look at Cheryl's hair and look at Ladosha's hair. It's going to speak. And I'm not saying that the stylists who are, donned and hair additions are not good stylists, or barbers who have locks or their hair is they're bald, that they are not good barbers. Okay. We're not saying that. We're saying literally look at the quality of the hair addition. Look at the quality of the bald head. Look at the quality of the locks. That's going to tell you a lot, number one. Number two, be sure to look for affiliations and associations. Cheryl just told you guys, those solo bolos who are just out here making stuff up, be leery of the 4C language user. Be very, very, very leery. I'm not saying to challenge them, but if you're in that consultation, just do like Cheryl is doing right now. If you have big diamond rings, Louis Vuitton purses, Gucci bags, Tory Burks, leave those in the car. Do not turn your big diamond rings like this, turn them inside. Because some people will see the money and it just won't happen. And then it's going to get lost. And number two, when you're looking at the images online, look for repeat customers. Look for the children to see if you see, oh, there she is again. Don't just look at Cheryl and Ladosha's hair. They have no curls. I work behind the chair. There's not going to be any curls in my hair because I'm under this hot light. I'm doing a podcast. This is going to work for me. It's straight, it's boring, but it works with the scalp. I have the color. Cheryl does a better job of explaining why respecting that scalp is important. Look at Cheryl's hair. It matches her lifestyle. Look at her hairline. These are the things that are going to help you out as a parent. And then, of course, if they have something to help you navigate through that hairstyle by way of tools and combs, then definitely that's going to be the professional for you. Company, shameless plug, but Rev Air is one of those companies who really, really tries to get, a community of people to come in and give you guys some help. They're not being bought out by Procter and Gamble. It's you know what I'm saying? So look for companies like that. That are trying to help you guys out so you're not duped. And then sure, you can kind of speak to that whole style with the scalp, because I think that kind of would help parents a little bit more as we wrap this up.
Yeah. And I think that if we would also, cosmetologists as professionals, would do a little better job of getting our own personal manuals out. And we would also consistently, we had talked about it, Miss Ladosha, doing that newsletter and just communicating with you and giving you more parental. I do have a PowerPoint. Maybe we'll do that, and we can give that away. And it's a PDF file on parents and what to do and what not to do.
Whoa! Let me get a little clap for that. Keep talking while I get my little hand clap. Go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm saying that we're gonna talk about maybe giving that away next week. So come on.
And then
we're gonna have some balloons and stuff when we come back. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, the 100th.
Yeah, we got 100th episode coming up next week, and we're gonna be talking about hair going green, hair salons going green. This is Cheryl's area. So Cheryl's going to be able to shine because she's got all types of wonderful ideals and things that she's thought of and worked with going green. So that's going to happen, which is very befitting for our 100th episode. And this is something that parents, you want to look for this, okay? Especially since everybody is just, all over the place. We're just trying to bring this all, into a little homogenous, you know what I'm saying.
But back into the scalp, let me say that their scalp is not fully to what we call that will support. The follicle is only as mature as the dermis in the scalp. So the fat content supports the circulation, supports all of the mature that makes a hair from vellus to terminal. lanugo, and kind of vellus hair, which is basically on your arms or in your, peach fuzz and things of that nature, going through puberty. But the scalp is not going to produce the hair that child is going to produce as an adult until about 13. And so be extremely strategic in your choices, your tension, your plait placement.
Right. Now, let me just interrupt you because I'm going to show you a picture. And this is why we wanted to close this out about the scalp. And this is not made up. And Cheryl is going to just take more into details when she talked about what the scalp cannot. We repeat, parents, please listen to us. Some of these hairstyles is what a child's scalp cannot support. So Cheryl, help them out with this one right here. Mom under investigation for doing a quick weave on a 1-year-old for her birthday.
Oh my God.
And this is why we're here. Now, no shame on the mom, because everything that we have said, this has got to be the I don't even want to say worse because I don't want to shame the mom, but this is the strangest case scenario when we talk about, remember Cheryl said, going from Afro confusion to Afrophobia. She really thinks she is giving this child an opportunity or a chance, or I don't even know. But when you talk about that scalp, why is this a no? Parents come in, they want quick weaves for children, they want added hair for children, and we're saying, guys, this is not for children. I'm not a cosmetic trichologist, and maybe you guys just don't want to hear me say no. So Cheryl, speak to go more into detail and age appropriate hairstyles.
And when people really probably say things about
maybe scalp appropriate. I'm sorry.
No, right. But when people talk about hair issues, most times it's a scalp issue that they're talking about. But let me just say this: all black babies is the only human being that hair goes through a metamorphosis 3 times. It's the only human being that goes through an Afro metamorphosis in 3 different phases of newborn, toddler, and adolescence. That's 3, right? And then after that is adult. And what I'm saying is that all black babies are born with what we call the most recessive hair type. It's going to be wet. It's been in the mother's amniotic fluid. It has been wet and it matured. So that means the scalp is immature. And so the scalp goes through 3 phases. And unfortunately, those follicles are not embedded in a scalp yet strong enough. The cushion, the dermis is not strong enough to support weight, tension, okay, for long periods of time. It can't even take pressure or pressure points. Okay, pulling is you have to watch the pulling. So age appropriateness. And let me just say this: I'm not blaming you guys for not knowing, because it is not taught. I get it, because nothing Afrocentric is taught scientifically. It's only taught culturally.
Can you repeat that just one more time? I'm gonna give a bomb on that. Can you just say it again? Because I don't think they hear you though, Sandra. I don't think they hear what she just said. Say it again.
Afrocentricity or anything Afrocentric is not taught from a scientific perspective. It is only taught from a cultural perspective. You guys are only worried about them connecting them to something Afrocentric because that is going to make them what? Give them a more stronger identity in the United States machine, and the horrific things that they have to go through with their identity. The problem is that when they understand themselves scientifically, they understand themselves in the real Afrocentric way. When you teach them just culture, they only know how that may change. And you just shake the ground underneath their feet and they'll go with the wind. Somebody will insult them, then they'll get insulted. No, teach them scientific. Teach them why they're black. Not because they're black, why they're black. Why do they have curly, coily hair? Why is that? Why does their scalp go from vellus to terminal? And as the hair matures, it gets dominant from recessive. And why does them as an Afrocentric human being go through an Afro metamorphosis? Their hair changes 3 times. That has to be logical to a child. And once they can make heads or tails of that, right? Their Afrocentricity can be embedded in a stone and built on stone, built on a pyramid, a cornerstone of truth and embedded in true realness, so they can identify themselves from there and make sure that they understand Mother Africa supports all textures, because all textures and phenotraits, eyes, colors, shapes, noses, came out of Africa without a European. So it doesn't have to have an opposite for us to make the case for our existence. Make sense?
Right. Because when you look at this young lady here, there's so much pride in African Americans and what we have done with cornrow braiding. I did a nice clip of you talking about that, where you got the Miss Bentley, and then you have Dr. Cromwell. You know, these women definitely are heralded as women who have created wonderful Afro hairstyles. I don't know if Willie D out of New York actually invented the hair weave, but I almost certain the glue, the quick weave, definitely came out of Detroit. I could be wrong, but you guys can correct me in that. But this is not a service. The cultural, we get that part. But I know these people did not create that quick weave to be done on any child. And this is why we are so pro cosmetology, licensure, because it's the standard. The license is about public safety and sanitation. This young lady here is definitely thinking, I'm a hair stylist. She's going to show you her cultural pride and creativity, and how she can use that glue and that net and put that baby in that chair and create a quick weave. And I don't know if she was trying to get likes, but I think she was trying to do that cultural thing. And Cheryl is telling you this has got to be the most un-African thing, un-Africanistic cultural ever. You can't get more un-African than putting a quick weave on a baby's head, because she doesn't know. And that's why I said I don't want to shame this young woman, but I'm certain had she known of Afro hair science, she would never ever do this to her child. And then Cheryl said, more importantly, the scalp is Cheryl's number one concern. And what are the dangers of this child who would do it? Because there are children. There are people in the chat who are saying they do see children with weaves. What are the dangers to parents who are doing weaves and heavy box braids and, faux locks in children's hair on their scalps?
Mm-hmm. Because one hair is only supposed to have, for one follicle, is supposed to have one hair in it, right? What you're doing is that you're causing the immune system to completely have what we call an autoimmune response. And so you're disrupting.
So wait a minute, an autoimmune response from an external hairstyle? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Let's just say if I went in, let's just say this. If I were to keep scratching in this area, just keep scratching, your body is going to say, let me take care of that for you. It's going to become sore, red, and warm. that is an autoimmune response because you keep scratching there, or there's a hair bump there, or something's irritating you there. The body takes care of it.
But wouldn't that just be chemicals? Only chemicals do that, right, Cheryl?
No, bacteria does it, yeast does it, viruses does it, hair bumps do it. Snatching because you have to take it off. Too much weight will do it. Because what you guys don't understand, babies, black people's hair grows this way, y'all, this way. So now that I got to fix the Crown Act, rebuild bill, that makes no sense. Okay, so when we talk about length this way or length that way, because we don't have hair that go down. There is nothing in nature that grows down.
Nothing?
Up. So you have to make sure that you educate us and make sure that she understands that your personal whims as a mother cannot be visited on the child. The child does not have a choice. And that is one of the things that we started before we got started into the deep of the conversation, is that the child should be taught what to like, because you have to understand why she likes it. And when you did a quick weave, why didn't you do an afro quick weave? Why did you have to do a straight hair quick weave? Because you're subjecting the child to your whims, not hers.
That's very, very, child. This is, it's always. These podcasts have got to be like the most powerful things I have ever done in my life. I just want to give a couple of shout outs because the chat is on fire. Okay. And Sandra says, with this many people in the chat, let me move this out the way because Cheryl is going to show you guys what you need to do, right, to help change the narrative for these parents out here, because that is what this podcast was about today, helping the parents discern, decipher, whatever you want to call it, with their children's hair in a world where social media is reigning supreme. So Cheryl, show them what to do right now before we come on off this live. Here we go. So go ahead on right now and hit that thumbs up button. Well, first of all, you guys rocked it out on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and YouTube the entire time. So we know that this podcast was definitely something that you all were looking forward to and you learned a lot from. March is Women's History Month. And so we're focusing, all of our topics are pretty much geared towards women. We're going to be back here next Monday. It's going to be our 100th episode. That's right, guys. We will have officially had, can you believe it, 100. Wow. I want to give us a big old round of applause for that one. We will be in 100 episodes. And so what we are going to ask you guys to do is to come back on that 100th episode. It's all about hair salons and the beauty, everything going green and the future. Cheryl is going to rock this out like never before. She has some slides that she's going to give away. I've got some hair care products, but you got to live in the greater continental U.S. Sorry if you're living outside the United States, but it costs so much to send that stuff abroad. When you join us on Thursday, it's about the International Women and Hair. We're going to highlight Mrs. Fatou Sangay. She's a director of the Gay and Girl Skills Academy. We can't have her on due to the time difference, so she's going to send me over some images. I'm also going to highlight Olive Benson. You've heard me talk about her a lot. She was definitely an international extraordinaire. And then Cheryl is going to give you one of her favorites. And if you want to help make this chat a lot more interesting, how about you do a little homework and you look across the globe and you see Who do you like across the globe that influences you either in your career or how you view hair, so we can highlight the international women of hair. It doesn't have to be Afro hair, okay? So we're going to highlight Olive Vincent, and we're going to highlight Fatou Sengay, and Cheryl is going to have her person as well. And again, we're going to have some wonderful giveaways. Please share, okay? Share, and we're going to have a good time. Cheryl, as we close this out, you have been absolutely phenomenal. Can we all please put some hand clap emojis in the chat? Because Cheryl, you really did the damn thing tonight. This was this was not an easy topic to go over, and you just didn't she, y'all? She did the damn thing. And I know all of you parents out there are very thankful for Cheryl and her view, because we are not taught this in cosmetology school. But remember, we said it once, we'll say it again. Cosmetology is really about public safety and sanitation. It is our job, which is why we're going to be hosting what? The Afro Hair Summit this year again in the state of Ohio. We're going to partner with Brown Nevada again, because we're not getting this in cosmetology nor barbering school. So this is a whole nother level. So Cheryl, help us close this out. Hey, what's up, Dawn? Okay, we got Sandra, Lawana, Live, Work, Clean. I take it you are from Canada. From the picture there that you have there, we got Dawn is in the chat. We have a lot of wonderful, wonderful people. Alfreda, Dewey, Marla, you were absolutely wonderful. Our virtual co-host, Michelle Allen. Oh, you just snuck in on me, Michelle. I see you. Michelle has snuck in on us. Miss SAG is in the chat. We just thank you guys so very much. Miss Dewey. So Cheryl, let's close it on out with this topic.
I got about 3 minutes.
And hair. Yeah, okay. Mom and hair. Close it out for us.
Well, I think just to bring everything together, I am here to support you. And you can go on Afro Hair Science, Afro Hair Science at Gmail. And you can just email us if there is a question that you have. We are here to help, not just to entertain you and not just to talk about it. But you can email us, and I will try to answer it, or Ladosha tries to answer it, because we are actually here to help, not just complain about the situation. And go and create the most prideful, well-balanced, beautiful, and powerful young generation we can. And that's all we can do. That's why we're here to help. So make sure that you give email us, contact us.
All right. All right. So at the end of the day, if you have any questions, parents, Cheryl said, go ahead and email us at afrohairscience@gmail.com. I just want to keep in mind, I'll let you guys know, I do not have the same expertise as Cheryl. So those questions will be answered. So, yeah, I got some if I can answer them, but I will send those over to Cheryl so you can get a thorough response to your questions. And you know what we say when we're signing out, right? Join us on Thursday. Come back on Monday, because it's all about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and for sure a whole lot of hair. But check it out. If you ain't got it, don't want it, can't grow it, hell, you planning on cutting it off because you got them bald patches and you just don't know what to do. You know what we say? Stop that. Leave it alone. I can barely talk with these braces, right? Because all that's beautiful too, and so are you. Deuces, have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we appreciate you guys so much from the bottom of our little hearts. Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming, get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I did it with Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What?
Papa.
about a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.